Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show. Plenty going on across our Flow FM network and plenty going on in Sunraysia Netball. Time to get the Owen United Kangas Netball report now with the head Kanga, Caitlin Vine. Good to be with you again, Caitlin. How are you getting on?
Thank you. Good to be back. The weeks fly by very quickly, but excited that it's Friday and ready for a big weekend.
It is indeed Friday, which means that in 24 hours or so it all gets underway again, Caitlin, and we've got plenty to look forward to with the huge Wentworth derby happening this weekend for all the Owen United sides. So very keen to speak more about that with you later on, but let's firstly just take a look at what went down last weekend, and unfortunately it was Owen United that went down in many ways. Caitlin, not a great weekend, so we'll let you just touch on all the results that you feel are most important for our listeners to know about as far as Oyen v Irimple went last weekend in the netball.
Yeah, so we obviously went out really excited with a lot of energy to face Irimple. Always a strong team. When we came out for A grade, we had a really good start. The A-grade teams for Irimple are quite a young team, which is great to see. So many juniors and young netballers up and coming and showing their class, which was great. We had a couple of injuries, Gun to Shani Burns and another Jet, Alan Morris, had some injury time throughout the game, which definitely rattled our team a little bit, and just putting lots of changes in there to give everyone a bit of a run and just find out what was working for us. Just simple mistakes, unfortunately, led us to a loss, 36-29. So not too bad, but definitely just the simple things that we could have worked on a little bit harder. So that's all the stuff that we worked on at training this week, and hopefully we've sorted ourselves out and can look and feel stronger on the court this week. The B grade also had a really tough tussle. I think we got within 3 goals of Irimple at one point, but Irimple just came away with the win. And the same with the majority of our other grades. Really good for a quarter or a half, sticking really close, and then Irimple just pushing away at the end with the win. So it was a clean sweep for Irimple. Congratulations to them, but pretty devastating for us in Kangaland. And I think the 11-2s were the only ones who got their unofficial win for the week. So lots to work on. I think everyone was pretty disappointed in themselves and really eager to get hard on the court this week and work on just finding out those wrinkles and, onwards and upwards.
That's the spirit, Caitlin. Well, just on some of those big names you touched on there as far as injury scares go, thankfully both Ellen Morris and Tashani Burns named in the A-grade side this weekend. More on that in a moment, though. Let's just cast our eye towards some of the other results, Caitlin, that caught your eye last weekend in Sunraysia Netball. The floor's yours.
Yeah, Merbein, Mildura. So I think I did tip Mildura as just getting up here. They had a good win, 46-59 against Merbein. Merbein, as I've mentioned, obviously up and coming, much improved from last year. Mildura, I think they also have quite a young side again this year, so a little bit of a different side to last year, but obviously quite strong with that 59 goals. That's a really high score, so well done to Mildura. Imperials versus Robinvale. Imperials beat Robinvale 39-25, so a solid win from Imperials. Robinvale just dropping off a little bit after a few good cracks over the last few weeks. And then, no surprises here, Wentworth 75 defeated South Mildura 17. So that is a fair pumping. Wentworth just seemed to be unstoppable against these teams. So Wentworth will be really happy with that. They'll be, feeling pretty happy walking into this week, I imagine. But, being the grand final rematch, I'm sure there's some nerves across both teams.
It certainly feels as though, Caitlin, it's going to be one of those sort of points in time where you're either going to really swim or really sink, and it's not the kind of occasion that you want to be sinking in, despite the, not the most desirable start to the Sunraysia netball season for the Oyen United Kangas. It's the grand final rematch, as you say, and surely the girls will be up for it, and we'll hopefully be able to see a competitive showing at the very least for you girls this weekend. But of course, the hope going into the game will be that you can take Wentworth all the way and hopefully even topple them. So how is everyone feeling in the A grade side going into this game? Caitlin, I dare say once again that the only downer going into this game is no Caitlin Vine.
I managed to scrape myself onto the bench this week, so I'm pretty happy with that. But, as I said, we had a really solid training. I think Wentworth have always been our toughest competitor, and because of that, we really focus on how they play, and we put in, certain little plays and things and work really hard to try and shut them down. So we're not new to their team. Their team's relatively unchanged from last year, so we know how they play. It's just us putting together all the little basic pieces to come up as a really strong team against them. So everyone is feeling really good about it. No expectations, just going out there and doing what we can. We know that we're a club who doesn't usually have a great start to the season. We sort of just warm ourselves up for it and get better as we go. So we're still putting as much as we can out on the track, but, just going out to do our best at this stage, and whatever the result, we'll just keep chipping away.
Well, the folk from Oyen will be taking over in Underbool this weekend. It's going to be a big Saturday for all those affiliated with the club. Caitlin, just tell us a little bit more about, the plans behind the scenes as far as the travelling party goes for tomorrow.
Yeah, Underbool is always just such a fantastic weekend out there. The committee and the volunteers who put the effort in to run the two ovals out in Underbool as well as the two ovals in Oyen just do a spectacular job. So at training during the week, Underbool looked an absolute picture. Everything was beautiful. So everything's ready and ready to go. We're going to have a big hit out in the football and the netball throughout the day, and then we'll be settling in for a nice dinner, and we've got the time machine this week as our social event. So we'll be winding back the clock and checking out some of the olden days, whether that's the 80s or the 20s or the 2000s. Who knows where we'll go, but it'll be a big day for all.
All sounds a bit lethal. Hopefully we can get all the results in as well and make a perfect day of it. Caitlin, we'll just get your tips for some of the other Sunraysia A-grade games happening across tomorrow. We've got Mildura taking on Irimple. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, tough one. I think Irimple were good on the weekend, but I think Mildura, if they manage to beat Merbein quite comfortably, that they're obviously a well-oiled machine as well. So I expect Mildura to get up.
Robinvale Euston host Redcliffs. Who's your tip for this one?
Yeah, this is a tough one. Haven't seen Redcliffs yet, and I know that they're really eager for a win, and they're up and coming. So I think Robinvale sometimes get in their own heads a little bit. When they could win, it just slips away. So I'm going to go for Redcliffs.
There we have it. And South Mildura take on Imperials. This one is a bit of a hard one to call. How do you see it going?
Yeah, this will be a tough one as well, but I think the Imperials, they've got a few fresh faces in there, and I think that might help them out, so I'm going to go Imperials on that one.
There we go. Will most likely be a dogfight considering both sides will be desperate to get on the board. Merbein with the bye. Caitlin Vine, the head Kanga, thank you so much for your time. All the very best tomorrow, and we certainly hope that at the end of it all, at least a good day is had by all. Caitlin Vine, thanks for your time. All the best.
Thanks so much. Go